biggest classroom.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to My Teacher on NTV. As we always say, it's a pleasure to have you all with us, and we're absolutely delighted by the feedback that we've been receiving. Thank you, keep it coming, and we promise you that we'll continue with episodes where we'll explore themes which are useful, practical, and definitely interesting. Now, what do we have for you today? Well, being an academic topper. Let me repeat that again. Being an academic topper. How does this sound to you? Let me elaborate. Having a mark sheet with straight A's. Having a CGPA that goes over the roof. Having your name featured on that big bad board next to the principal's office. And having your photograph featured in the newspaper as well. You know, being a mini celebrity. How does all this sound to you? Now, when I ask this question to my audience, to my live audience usually, I get two kinds of responses. This provokes two kinds of responses. One is, oh my God, you're a role model, awesome, all of us have to be like that, now how do I become a topper? On the other hand, you also have people who will arch their eyebrows and shrug their shoulders and tell us, what's the big deal? You know, being a topper in academics has nothing to do with success in life. So you have these two paradigms. Now the question is, what's our take on the subject? Now we've been working with the corporate segment and with schools and students for a long time, and this is what we feel. Now we are addressing the young ones here. Now if you're interested to work in internationally reputed organizations, I'm talking about Google, I'm talking about Microsoft, I'm talking about NASA. If these are the kind of organizations that you're interested to work in, you must realize that these organizations recruit only from the top 1 or 2 institutions in any particular country. With respect to India, we're talking about the IITs and the IIMs. Now, how do you get into these kind of pristine universities and colleges? You should know that there are hundreds and thousands of students who appear for the examinations every year, and you need to feature in the top 1 to 2% to get into the gates of these awesome schools and colleges. And only if you're there, you'll manage to get into your dream organization. So if I summarize, if that's your dream, well, there are no shortcuts. You need to be a topper in your school, in your college, and in your local community as well. And there's another aspect that we want to introduce. To succeed in life, you need to have at least 4 qualities. I'm not saying that these are the only qualities you need, but you need to have at least 4 qualities. One is ambition. A burning desire to do well and a burning desire to win, to have your name up there, to get accolades, to be respected. Self-confidence, that's number 2. I call it belief. The third one, commitment to do hard work, regardless of what you do. Some of you say, well, I'm into photography, I'm passionate about photography. You still will have to work very hard. Yeah, I'm into fashion designing. You'll still have to do 100 things that are irritating. Okay? And the last one, D, is discipline. To have regular habits that you would definitely do. You might want to go for a movie, go out for a walk, hang out with friends, but you say no, you sacrifice all those needs and you follow a particular discipline. So the ABCDs of success, these are what you need to succeed in life. Now think about it this way, this is to all our young viewers. You can consider school to be a great training ground to get these qualities. Because every year, every month, every term you've got examinations. So what's ambition? To be a topper there. What's belief? Well, your teachers and your parents will help you to make you confident, and your past accolades will help you too. What's commitment? Well, work hard. And what's discipline? Have a daily schedule that you stick to every day. So when you follow these 4 qualities and make sure that you do it in and out every day, then you become successful in life. Yeah, but I'm not saying that if you become a topper at school, you're guaranteed to succeed in life. Well, it certainly requires other ingredients as well, and we'll come back to that towards the end of the session. Okay, so what do we have for you today? Well, today we're going to talk about why it's important to be successful in academics and how can you become a topper. To help us do that, we have 2 smart youngsters in the studio. Okay, both of them are doing really well in academics, and they also have other feathers on their cap. Now, before we introduce them, before we call them into the studio, I would like you to sit back and watch a small video. We've got some learning tips for you, and immediately after that we'll welcome our 2 toppers to join us in the discussion. Let's together see as to what it is that successful people do differently. Sit back and enjoy this short video clip.
Time for school, and it's no surprise that many of us are determined to study smarter instead of longer. But which study tips and tricks actually work scientifically and can help you get those perfect grades? First up, research shows that study sessions are most effective in small, short chunks. Instead of cramming in a 10-hour study session, it's much more effective to spread it out into 20, 30-minute sessions over a few weeks. This is because your brain is better at encoding information into the synapses in short, repeated sessions as opposed to one large one. And this is why even learning different skills, whether it's swimming, tennis, or a singing lesson, often follows this same format. And while cramming and pulling all-nighters may be a ritual, it turns out that this is linked to the lowest grades. After prolonged nocturnal study sessions, reasoning and memory may be negatively affected for up to 4 whole days. Instead, setting up specific times in a day or during the week just to study primes your brain by creating a routine, and over time, studying actually becomes easier as your brain is trained to learn in those moments. And while many of us spend hours passively rereading our notes or highlighting a textbook, studies have shown this to be ineffective. It doesn't improve your understanding of topics, nor does it link key concepts together. It can even be detrimental as it draws your attention to less important information. Flashcards, on the other hand, are proven to be excellent memory reinforcement tools, whether during your scheduled study times or during off times like a bus ride home. It also helps to have a specific goal for each study session. Instead of aimlessly studying, pick one aspect you'll focus on, whether it's balancing chemical equations or learning how to conjugate French verbs. If you can't explain it simply, then you don't understand it well enough. In studies where individuals were asked to learn a passage, and then half were told that they would be tested on the material while the other half were told they would have to teach it to other students, participants expecting to teach it did much better at understanding the main points. When you're expecting to teach, your brain organizes the information in a more logical, coherent structure. Of course, practice, practice, practice. Not only do practice tests put your brain in the environment, but even if you make mistakes, they help identify gaps in your knowledge. Practice tests have also been shown to increase confidence, thereby leading to better performance. So, where should you be studying? Research shows that having a designated sacred spot for study that's well equipped with every tool you might need is best. Just like setting times, this primes your brain for studying. Have an awesome study playlist? Not so fast. While some studies have shown that certain types of classical music can help improve concentration, a recent study has shown that learning with rhythmic background noise can be detrimental to focus, and those not using music fared much better. And if you haven't already, put away your phone. This is a no-brainer, but your texts and social media notifications severely decrease concentration.
Welcome back. As promised, we've got 2 top performers. I would like to thank the schools before we start. Would definitely like to thank Mrs. Usha Balachandran and our own Indian school, and Mr. Thomas Matthew from our own English school, Dubai. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for providing us this wonderful opportunity. I'm sure your students will make you and your school proud and definitely add a lot of value to our viewers. So Abhisha and Surya, a very warm welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Can I request Abhisha to introduce herself for our viewers?
Hi everyone, my name is Abhisha David. I'm 17 years old, born and brought up in Dubai. I'm from GEMS Aaron English High School, Albarka. It has been my home for the past 14 years. I'm currently the sports captain of the school, and I'm also very interested in music. And to highlight my academic achievements, I secured a 10 CGPA in the grade 10 board examinations, and I was one of the stream toppers of 11th grade in the humanities stream.
You put it so modestly, you know. I was a 10 CGPA student. I'm sure that's something that you need to be very proud of. Yeah. Thank you, Abhisha. Thank you for joining us, and we're really looking forward to racking your brain to get some tips for our viewers.
I'm excited.
As well. Yeah, sure. Surya, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hello everyone, I'm Surya Rajesh of grade 11, GEMS Aaron Indian School. I am the Deputy President of the School Council, and I have many hobbies, such as swimming, dancing, singing, karate. I won a gold and a bronze medal in the National Karate Championships last year. So, and my academic achievements, I've always been a topper.
Okay.
And I've been receiving scholar badges and merit certificates, I guess. So,
Sure. Welcome aboard. I love
Thank
the
you
way
for having us.
they make it look so cool. You know? Yeah, thanks a lot, and really looking forward to getting some valuable tips from you. I've got an interesting question for you both, and this becomes even more interesting because you shared with us your other hobbies. Okay. Now, a lot of youngsters see studious students as nerds. Boring, yuck, we don't want to hang around with them, geeks, you know, the Neville Longbottom type in Harry Potter, where you say, well, or even, Hermione Granger, you know, where it's like, oh my God, we don't want to hang around with you. So, what's your take on this topic? Let me ask Abhisha first.
Okay, studious people are often considered as uninteresting nerds. That is something that it's very common in the high school students, among the high school students, but it's not true. Because studious people are those who are really committed to learning and reading. They enjoy it so much, and hence they're so knowledgeable. They're exposed to so much knowledge, and they have so many worlds. Like, they live so many worlds, and they hence become very confident, and their lives are so interesting. So they can definitely not be called as uninteresting. I am a nerd, but I think I'm a cool nerd though.
Wow. The kind of activities that we mentioned here, we had karate, we had swimming, we had sports and athletics, and it's definitely not a nerddom, you know, the way people call it. So that's nice. So what you're saying is they might be knowledgeable, they might be curious, they might read, they might research, and they might score good marks, but that definitely doesn't qualify them to be put under the boring category. That's what you say, right? What's your take on this, Alicia?
well, she has covered a lot. But personally, I think my life is really colorful.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm always busy, and it's not that I'm complaining. I love being busy.
Okay.
I love doing a lot of things. So, like recently, our school went for Jankar, and we got third. And then we went for Rangoli, we got best dance team and first prize overall. And like I mentioned, I'm the deputy president of the school council. So we host this huge thing called UNSC. It's basically a mock UN where students are given the opportunity to present their views on world current issues. So yeah, definitely not boring. I wouldn't say I'm boring.
True. Let me then ask you, let me reframe this question. Why do you think this tag stuck? Is it related to a previous generation, or do you still have studious girls and boys who doesn't mingle, who are not good at communicating, and you know, snobbish? Do you still have a minority who behaves that way? Is that why people picture all studious students as nerds? Yeah.
Yes. Actually, you can find some people of all kinds actually, and yes, some have carried on from previous generations. They're not snobbish, I wouldn't say that, but they are more of the silent type.
They're on the quiet side. They're called as introverts.
Okay.
But introverts have a very interesting world.
True,
You know,
true,
they are the
true.
most creative people,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
they can be so interesting if you just give time and get
Whoa,
rid
whoa,
of
whoa, whoa. I'm so happy that you realized that the greatest thinkers, the greatest painters, the greatest poets,
Yeah.
most of them are introverts.
You just have to take time and know them. You know,
Exactly.
make an effort.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
not
Super
much.
interesting.
And you
Yeah.
can definitely bring them along as well. So they're rejecting completely the hypothesis that all studious students are nerds. I can see that. Pretty interesting duo, and I'm sure you'll enjoy conversing with them. Let's try to do some mumbo jumbo now. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
We're now trying to understand the real reason, not the stated reasons. You know, because if you ask an athlete, why do you perform so well, he'll say, because I practice, I do that. But usually there are a lot of subconscious reasons behind. Okay, the attitude, the values, the role models that they have. So let's try to see. How would you answer this question? Give us 3 hints, or let me start with Surya this time. Give us 3 hints as to why you perform so well, particularly in academics. Okay.
First of all, I know my learning ability.
Okay.
I am an auditory learner.
Okay.
So I think the first step is to find out how you learn best and
Okay.
exploit it as much as possible.
Okay.
It is very crucial.
Okay.
And second, I'm very, very blessed to have such supportive parents and teachers.
Okay.
I mean, friends too, who are proud of me no matter what.
Okay.
And how can I forget my school? My teachers, my supervisor, my HM, principal, everybody. They believe in us so much. Even when I say, no, mom, I just can't do it. And they say, are you kidding me? I know you, you can do this. So,
True.
I think it's very important to be surrounded by positivity.
Definitely. I think the first thing that she said is, being aware of your own strengths and areas for improvement. Learning styles is definitely, it's quite easy. You can probably fill up a form online. You can have someone who can look at you, the way you talk, the way you behave, and quickly spot your preferred learning style. Surya, what they say previously, what we used to say is that if you have a particular learning style, it's good if you stick to that style. Okay, but now the concept has changed a bit. What they're saying is sometimes when you learn in a style which is different from yours, you might even learn better.
More.
So the key would be to use all three styles, and of course use your predominant style. So since you're auditory, definitely would prefer talking and reading things aloud, and probably teaching someone else, and that works. And of course, I'm so happy she mentioned the school and teachers. Previously, people used to attribute winning to genes. They used to say, oh, he's born, his parents are like that, he comes from this family, and that's the reason he's performing well. But now they found that it's the environment that really makes a difference. All of us have got switches inside us, and you need the environment to turn these switches on. And that's when you blossom into someone who's successful. So thanks to the school and the teachers and everybody. Yeah?
Definitely.
So those are your tips. What are yours?
Okay, talking about academics. First of all, it's very important. It's a combination of efforts that you make in school as well as at home. In school, it's very important to attend school regularly. And since I have chosen the subjects that I really liked, I'm so motivated to go to school every single day and pay attention to the classes. I'm blessed to have wonderful parents and wonderful teachers. The subjects become so interesting that I cannot skip school for any reason. So in class, you need to pay attention. Like most of your learning takes place within the classroom. If you pay attention there, like 70 to 80% is done. And then second thing is that you need to go into deep level understanding of your subject. It's not enough that you just do rote memorizing or just memorize whatever has been taught. You need to understand the concepts in a deeper level and research about it and relate to it and enjoy it. So that helps you to retain the concepts for longer, and it becomes useful in your life. And the third thing is at home. You need to know how to manage your time amongst all the other activities that you go for. You need to give enough time for studying and be disciplined, and you'll be definitely able to do well if you follow these things.
And that's a real challenge that a lot of students face. My mother-in-law is in town, and she was asking us, Aman, and I've got two kids, one who's 14 and the other one which is 7, saying, these kids, they're not getting even a 5-minute break. It's one activity, or then you've got these exams, and you've got a show coming up. So how do you guys have more than 24 hours? How do you really manage this karate and stuff like that? How is it that you can learn quicker than others? Do you really get time to learn?
Yes, definitely. It's all about working smart. And when you enroll in such activities, it's important to make sure you go for something that you absolutely love. Okay? I love karate. So even my dad does. So when you go for something like that, you're automatically interested. You never get tired about it. You never get bored. So I think that's very important. And no matter what, you should keep a specific time for everything. We always say there's a time for everything in life.
True.
Should be very systematic.
Sometimes it even takes sacrifices. Like you need to cut down on sleep some days. You need to cut down on entertainment, and it takes sacrifices if you really want to be successful.
True.
It's not very easy. I'm a very slow learner actually. I need to take time. I have to go through the same page at least 5 to 6 times till it's fully into my head. And hard work can take you there.
True.
And sacrifice.
I would like to probably correct you a bit on air, Abhisha. A lot of students are into strategic learning. What we mean by strategic learning is they'll look at past question papers and they'll know this question is going to come from this unit, so let me learn it in a way that I can do well in the examination. So the whole objective is to get good grades, and then once the exam is over, you forget it. But the kind of learning that you're talking about, it's much deeper learning. You're learning it because you love the topic. You're learning it because you want to use it later. So I wouldn't call you a slow learner. Probably you're comparing yourself with strategic learners who will say, 3 lines from this paragraph and I can do well in the exam, and after that I'm going to forget it. But you really intend to use it later. So that's a strength, and I think so I don't think you should demean yourself
Alright.
with that. But one question that I want to ask is, you said you pay attention in class.
Yeah.
Okay. Last episode we talked about social media addiction, and what social media does to you is, because every time you are inclined to look at your phone because there's something new, interesting, from your friend, and you want to converse. Now your brain gets hardwired to be distracted every few minutes.
Alright.
That's what social media does to you.
Yeah.
So even if the phone is not with you, let's say you're in class or having a conversation with a partner, your brain takes a break every few minutes. It vagabondia, it just goes off and then comes back again, and a lot of valuable information is lost. So how do you guys have probably been with a phone for the last 10 years, 8 years or something. We call you Generation Z, the millennials, digital natives. So how do you concentrate? Is it easy?
First of all, the phone thing, well, my parents were pretty strict about it. They let me use it as much as I want, except they kept a time for everything. Okay. So I'm not so addicted to anything. And I think the main thing is to not get attached to anything. Okay. Just keep yourself detached from, anything as much as possible.
Okay.
So, as you said, in school you don't have your phone, but you still get distracted. So that wouldn't happen if you weren't so attached to your phone. I'd say take a week off of your phone, give it to your parents, and see what happens. I assure you, nothing is gonna happen. You're gonna live a happy, peaceful life.
True.
So yeah, and it's all about sheer, willpower. It's just like, yes, I will get through this class.
Okay.
I will listen to the teacher. Just look at her. Don't take your eyes off of her.
True. A question. I want to get a little more details. A typical day. You come back late. Let's say school. You have a stay back for some activity. So you reach home at what time? Maybe 5:30. Yeah, reach home. You're tired. Okay, and you need to go to sleep at least by, let's say, 10, because early morning, 6 o'clock probably the bus comes. So you have a window of probably 5 hours. What do you typically do? Let's start with.
Okay, I come back home and have my lunch, because in school it's just snack, and I go to sleep for like 2 hours because it was a really long day.
Okay.
And I want some rest. Switch off for a while and get back on track. So after I wake up, it depends. Each day it's a different schedule, because Sundays and Wednesdays we have church from 8 to 10.
Okay.
But on other days like Mondays and Tuesdays, I start with my work, and for about 2 hours I do my homework, studies, and then it's my workout time. I head to the gym and for about an hour, and that again gives my brain some rest, and all the endorphins start running around, and I'm all energized, and I come back, and if there's a submission the next day of this, if there's more work, I get on with that, or else that's it, it's bedtime.
Wow. So what you're telling me is, in terms of learning, where you actually read the content and try to test yourself, that kind of learning, you're probably spending maybe 1 to 2 hours every day?
Yeah, most of the learning is in school, as I said before.
Okay.
Full attention in school. Don't miss classes for any reason.
True.
Just
I think that's
be in
the
class.
key. I think that's the key, and you probably make good notes.
Yeah.
It's not
All
just the
around my
notes that the
textbook.
teacher gives
It's
you.
notes.
Oh, so when the teacher says something and you probably ask questions,
Yep.
you're an engaged student. So I think that's the secret, so because you're doing so many other things, you need to make the most of the time that you get in school, right? Well, that's great. What about you, Surya?
Actually, what she said is right. As soon as I come, I try to get some protein in, because I haven't had anything for a long time, and then I hit the gym.
Okay.
Not because I want to become, slim or anything. It's healthy, and yes, it does release a lot of endorphins, and you become happy and energized, and there's a new energy again that you've lost from stay back. You've been in school for like 8 hours, and it's tiring. So that comes back, and then I take a warm shower or a cold shower if you feel sleepy after a warm shower, and then sit to do my homework and studies, and then dinner, and I'm done.
So that's again 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. I think the secret is in knowing your style and then being engaged totally in class. What do you do on weekends then?
Weekends I try to relax. I try, but I don't.
Are you people taking me for a ride? Really? Is this what you really do?
No,
okay. I thought you would say, oh my God, I'm plastered onto my textbooks for 3 hours. My parents will have to, take it out. Okay. What do you do on weekends?
On Fridays I have 5 hours of tuition in my academia.
Okay.
So yeah, that goes like that. And Saturday is just relax, do your homework, and just read through what was done in the week. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
My weekend, okay, Friday is almost like another school day. Morning we head to church and we go to Abu Dhabi, Sharjah.
Okay.
By the time we come back home, it's 9 or 10 p.m. and I'm exhausted,
Okay.
off to bed. And Saturday is like home day, just giving myself my time. I don't go out anywhere. I just, I do good things to myself. Like I watch videos that I want to catch up on, maybe on YouTube, because that's my favorite pastime.
True.
And then catch up on all the work and just revise all the concepts once again. Be prepared for the next day.
I hope our parents are watching intently, because a lot of people come back to us, they come to us for counseling and they say, my kid, he learns only for an hour, he learns only for 2 hours, and that's not giving us the results that we want. So, but here are top performers telling us that they learn only for an hour or 2 or even lesser. So I think it's not the quantity but the quality. Definitely that matters. We've got many more interesting questions, but it's time to take a short break. Okay, so we'll after we come back, I would definitely like to understand as to what is it that drives them to work so hard. Work so hard? No, work smartly and win, okay, and become everyone's role models. So it's time to have a short break. Don't go away. This conversation is going to get even more interesting and useful.